Hello everyone, this is Nitish and we have started a new initiative called Plum series, which is Prelims Level Up MCQ series. Here we discuss 5 MCQs daily and this will help you in your UPSC preparation. Today is episode number 18 and I am dealing with Economics MCQ. Before starting this class, I would like you to please subscribe the channel and also like and comment on videos. These contents are free of cost, so for test series and foundation video, you can contact to Vice Sir on WhatsApp 7200 and 675. So let's begin. Today's MCQ number 1 is which one of the following statement is correct with reference to Amartya Sen's idea of development? Basically, this question is from PYQ and it's also mentioned in your NCERT. So now let's look at the statements. Statement number A is it emphasizes on provisioning of basic needs for all. Statement number B, it links the human development to income levels in the society. C, it sees human beings as beneficiaries for all development activities. And last option D, it emphasizes on expanding freedom to improve human development. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question in the comment section and then after I will tell you the explanation and answer both. So its answer will be option number D. Now look at the explanation. Amartya Sen's idea of development is based on capability approach. So we should focus on what is capability approach. It is very important because it is PYQ. So there is a high chance that it will come in the upcoming UPSC preliminary examination. So, according to him, development is the process of expanding human freedom. It means that if we expand the human freedom, that is called development. So, he advocated building human capabilities in the area of health, education, access to resources. That is key to increasing human development, and that is our answer. Look at the option number D. What it says, it emphasizes on expanding freedom. So here expanding of freedom entails to what? It related to human being. If we expand the freedom of a human being, so it leads to improve in the human development. So option number D is true. Now look at the MCQ number 2. Economic growth in country X will necessarily have to occur if, which means that suppose there is a country X and in that country how the economic growth will occur. So on the basis of that we have to answer the question. So statement number A is there is a technical progress in the world economy. Option number B, there is a population growth in X. Option number C, there is a capital formation in the X. And option number D, the volume of trade grows in the world economy. So I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question and write it in the comment section. So the answer will be option number C. There is a capital formation in country X, then the economic growth will occur in country X. Now look at the explanation. Capital formation entails net capital accumulation during a specific period. This signifies economic growth, which means that if there is a high capital formation in the economy, it means that the faster an economy can grow its aggregate income. So that is the answer, which is the option number C. There is a capital formation in country X. Now look at the MCQ number 3. With reference to Indian economy, consider the following statements. Statement number 1, an increase in economic variables over a period of time is called an economic growth. Economic development implies an upward movement of quality of life in the economy. Economic growth only brings quantitative changes in the economy. Economic development brings qualitative changes in the economy. So, which of the statement given above is or are correct? So, option number A, 1 and 2 only, 3 and 4 only, 1, 2 and 3 only, and all of the above, which means 1, 2, 3 and 4 only. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question and write it in the comment section. This question is basically taken from the chapter Growth and Development, means Economics chapter 1. So, try to answer this question because this is a very basic chapter. You should know. So the answer will be D, which means all the above statements are true. Now let's see the explanation. So before going into the options, first we should know what is economic development. Economic development is basically the material development or the sustained improvement in material well-being of the society, which means that here we focus on the standard of living, health, education. So if there will be development in this field, it means that economic development takes place. Economic development and economic growth, both the concepts are different. Economic development is wider concept than economic growth, and apart from growth of national income, it includes changes in social, cultural, political as well as economic which contribute to material progress. Now look at the statements. Statement number 1 is correct. As I said, an increase in economic variable over a period of time is economic growth. So that is the statement number 1. So statement number 1 is true. Now, statement number 2 is also correct because economic development implies an upward movement of the quality of life in the economy. So that is statement number 2, and as I already explained that economic development is nothing but the improvement in the material well-being of the individual, which means that standard of living need to be improved, education level need to be improved, health sector need to be improved. That is an economic development. So which means that upward movement of the quality of life in the economy. Third statement is also correct because economic growth is considered as a quantitative concept, which means that here we deals with GDP. Increase in real GDP is economic growth. It only brings quantitative changes in the economy. Whereas economic development is a qualitative concept. Here we look at the quality, which means that human development index, gender related index, human poverty index, infant mortality, literacy rate. So it brings qualitative changes in the economy, which is the statement number 4. Hope you got it. Next is MCQ number 4. Why, despite the implementation of Green Revolution, a large proportion of India's workforce continue to be engaged in the agriculture sector? This question is taken from your NCERT book. Now, agriculture become a highly profitable business in all over India. Statement number 1. Statement number 2. Industrial sector failed to generate sufficient employment opportunity. Statement number 3. Manufacturing and service sector were experiencing negative growth rate until 1991. So options are 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 1, 2 and 3, and 1 and 3 only. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question and write it in the comment section. So the answer will be option number B, 2 only, which means that only option statement number 2 is the reason behind the question, which means that despite the implementation of Green Revolution, a large proportion of India's workforce continue to be engaged in agriculture sector. So the reason behind this is only statement number 2, which means that the industrial sector failed to generate sufficient employment opportunities. So now let's look at the explanation. So statement number 1 is incorrect because agriculture production increase was limited to wheat and rice, because we know that with Green Revolution only a few states of India was benefited, which means that other part of the India will suffer from this thing, which means that the farmers from other area start looking for alternate livelihood. Agriculture did not become a highly profitable business in all over India. That's why the statement number 1 is incorrect. That is, agriculture become a highly profitable business in all over India. So all over India is a wrong statement. Next, statement number 2 is correct because the industrial sector growth was not very significant during this period. Thus, this sector could not provide employment opportunities to the surplus labor from agriculture sector. The industrial sector in India failed to generate significant employment opportunities in order to attract and absorb excess agricultural labor. That is the statement number 2. Now, statement number 3 is incorrect because the manufacturing and the service sector were facing slow but not negative growth rate. So this led to disguised unemployment in the agriculture. That's why the statement number 3 is wrong, because here negative growth rate is mentioned, and as I already told you in the explanation that the growth was slow, not negative. That's why the statement number 3 is also wrong. Now let's move to MCQ number 5. With reference to the provision made under National Food Security Act 2013, consider the following statement. This question is taken from your previous year question, so focus on it. Statement number 1 is the family coming under the category of below poverty line only, you have to focus on the word only, are eligible to receive subsidized grain. Statement number 2, the eldest woman in a household of age 18 years or above shall be the head of the household for the purpose of issuance of ration card. Statement number 3, pregnant women and lactating mothers are entitled to a take-home ration of 600 calories per day during pregnancy and for 6 months thereafter. So, you have to tell which of the statement is correct. Statement number, option number A, 1 and 2 only, 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 3 only. I will give you 10 seconds. Try to answer this question and write it in the comment section. So the answer will be B, that is 2 only. So here is a need to look at the explanation so that we can able to find why the statement number 1 and statement number 3 are incorrect. Statement number 1 is incorrect because the enactment of National Food Security Act marks a paradigm shift in the approach to food security, which means that the approach to food security has changed, which means that we moved from welfare approach to right based approach. And National Food Security Act covers up to 75% of the rural population and 50% of the urban population under Antyodaya Anna Yojana and priority household, which means that about 2/3 of the population therefore is covered under the act to receive highly subsidized food grain. And here in the statement 1, I already said you need to focus on the word only. That's why it is incorrect, because only below poverty line is not included, because 2/3 of the population is covered under this act. Now the statement number 2 is correct because section 13 of the act states that the eldest woman who is not less than 18 years of age in every eligible household shall be the head of the household for the purpose of issuance of ration card, which is the statement number 2. Now we look at the statement number 3, which is incorrect, that the pregnant woman and lactating mother are entitled to take home ration of 600 calories per day, not 1600, which is mentioned in the question, during pregnancy and for 6 months thereafter. So in statement number 3, here we can see that 1600 calories per day is mentioned, but the answer is 600 calories per day. That's why the statement number 3 is also incorrect. So I have completed this episode. Next episode will be tomorrow. So try to subscribe this channel and stay tuned. Hope you like this video. So please comment and like this video.